Happy New Year, everyone. We're in 2025, and I had to start the year off with my favorite topic, my winter fragrances. So I want to show you guys just a one-of-a-kind winter fragrance list that I know will spark some interest, will get you excited for the new year. I'm trying to give you guys some fragrances that you probably have never heard of, or something you've probably been like, man, I want to try that. And I'm just reminding you about it. So I'm out here. It's winter, it's a little cold outside, but I wanted to do something different. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Before we get there, for those who just joined for the first time, I'm Rome. This is He Smells Like Rome. We talk about niche fragrances, luxury fragrances, and hard to find fragrances. The fragrances that's still in the course conversation. If that's the type of channel you're looking for in the new year, do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you know when I'm shooting these videos, you'll get a notification each time. All right? You help me out, I help you out, and I'll hook you up with some great fragrances. All right? With that out of the way, we're going to stroll around a little bit. I'm going to talk about some of these fragrances while I'm out here. So sit back, relax, get some popcorn. It's about to go down. All right, guys, so the first fragrance I want to talk about is from Overdose. And I've spoken about this fragrance probably all year of how amazing it was and how it surprised me for such a sleeper in the fragrance community. And that fragrance I'm talking about is Hala. Now, Hala is one of those fragrances I call, if you're trying to set a romantic mood theme with your special loved one or someone you're interested in, especially a first date, this is a fragrance I say, yeah, you got to grab this one. If you want something that's going to cut through that cold winter breeze, if you're out shopping, maybe just hanging out outside, this is a fragrance I say you need in your collection. It starts off with a beautiful plum note, an opening. It's not one of those ripe, fresh plums. It's more of a dry plum. Still fruity, still sweet, but it is more or less not refreshing, but almost jammy. Then you have a kind of green heliotrope vibe that hints on this little bit of the floral side, but still stays in that green aspect. But the dry down is where this fragrance definitely shines. You got vanilla, you have oud, you have amber, and you have a warm tonka bean. Guys, check this one out. A wonderful winter fragrance, and I'm glad I got it on my list. All right, it's a little cold out here. Let's change the scenery a little bit. Let's go check out the next one.
All right, more comfortable setting. I told you guys I was gonna switch it up for the new year. We doing some new exciting things in 2025. So, the next fragrance I want to talk about that is really close to my heart is one of my favorite fragrances in my entire collection. You guys heard me talk about this fragrance a bunch of times. It is the most authentic ambergris fragrance in the world. And that fragrance I'm talking about is Musk Ambergris by Evanescence. Yes, of course, this is going to be on the list because of its unique, potent aroma that just kind of radiates through the entire air once it's on. I've said this in my review when I reviewed this a few years back, that most people don't know where ambergris comes from. You probably know now because it's been kind of, a topic or a theme in the last maybe 3 or 4 years. But for those who don't know, ambergris is It comes from sperm whales. So ambergris is one of the most, expensive ingredients in fragrances. And for them to have a 100% authentic ambergris in this fragrance is just outstanding to me. Not only the longevity, not only the sillage, but the just overall head-turning effect it has on people once they smell this. Of course, like I said, the sweet oceanic sea salt kind of ambergris vibe mixed with a clean white musk and the dry down. This fragrance does not, turn to 3-4 different types of fragrances. Very linear, so you're just gonna pretty much get that sweet ambergris, that clean aromatic musk, and it's just gonna trade places of what you smell. But this is and will always be one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. And if you want something for the winter that's gonna slice through that winter cold, grab this one. Musk Ambergris by Evanescence. Yeah. Let's go check out the next winter fragrance. Another fragrance on my list is a fragrance that should be, if it's not already, this fragrance should be in the Hall of Fame. One of the best Chypre fragrances in the world. And my favorite, Chypre Palatine by MDCI. Yes, this is the Chypre of all Chypre fragrances, in my opinion. You guys know I'm a sucker for presentation. If it's done well, I'm going to show you the presentation because that's what's going to draw you to the bottle. Not only this super dark amber colored juice. Well, if you like that classic barbershop style fragrance, if you love a traditional Chypre smell with a modern twist on it, look no further. That clean lavender smell with a contrast of oak moss, which is more, I would say, a blend between fresh clean shower and almost body odor. Ending off with benzoin, you have some citrus note. You have an outstanding dry down with vanilla, a soft leather, and immortelle. Now, the winner for me in this fragrance, the combination of three that just drives me crazy, is plum, lavender, and that sweet vanilla. Oak moss, yes, because it just reminds me of the 80s and the 90s when it comes down to those barbershop fragrances and those barbershops used to go to when I used to live in the city, Jersey City. But this is a must-have. The only other fragrance that can compare to this that I say smells great but is 3 times the price is Diaghilev. And I would argue that this might be just a little bit better. But I'll leave that up to you guys to check it out. You want a fragrance that lasts all day, a beautiful fragrance that is one of a kind, get your hands on Chypre Palatine. Yeah, one of the best winter fragrances in the world. Let's go check out the next one. Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna just give you some of my classics and my favorites. You know, those who've been rocking me for a little bit, you knew those were gonna be on the list. But trust your boy, trust me, I got some bangers, some new ones on my list. Some you probably seen in my haul, but this one right here, this fragrance that I have right here, guys. I told you before and I'll tell you again, y'all not ready. A powerhouse fragrance by my geisha. This is called Overdose. Yes, Overdose. Whew. Now, January and February are the coldest months here in Maryland. These are the months it's going to be super cold. And I'm going to be wearing this fragrance non-stop in these next 2 months because when it gets to the 30s, 20s, and below, you need something that's going to just cover you with just an amazing scent, of course, but just keep you warm, keep you engaged, and take your mind off of those cold winter mornings or nights. So let me just tell you a little bit about this because I'm going to do a full review on this, but let me just give you what I think. First off, beast mode. just beast mode fragrance. Probably top 3 most powerful fragrances I've ever smelled. But the aroma, I say this as seriously as I possibly can. This is a sleeper for one of the most sexiest fragrances I've ever smelled. Very simple composition, oud, amber, leather, and a nice woody sandalwood note in a dry down. What you're gonna get, obviously, you're gonna get a very heavy, animalistic, kind of smoky oud note in the opening. Immediately, you're gonna get that kind of dry crystallized amber, and then the trading places between leather and sandalwood from basically the end of I know it's gonna sound weird, the end of the top notes all the way to the dry down, the base notes. You're gonna get that leather just creeping up and getting stronger and stronger until you get to the dry down. But man, y'all, this one, I smelled it, and I tell you, the first time I smelled it, I was like, yeah, I don't like this. No, I don't like this. And then I had the sample but didn't have the package, and I sprayed it on my hand, and I was like, yo, what is this? What is this? Because I sprayed it on paper, didn't like it, sprayed it on my hand, fell in love with it. Bruh, a must-have for the winter if you like those powerful leather oud-based fragrances. Yeah, man, I'm excited. I can't wait to review this for you guys. Until then, let's go check out the next one. All right, so the next fragrance I have, I've been excited for this fragrance for the last maybe month and a half. Kajal has been teasing this fragrance, and it's been driving me crazy because I haven't got a sample. Went to Scent Explorer and I picked up this joint right here. This is Kajal Lamar Noir, their newest and latest fragrance in their, oh man, their lineup of just bangers, yo. So, of course, if you smell Lamar, you know that that was one of my favorite fragrances, and it was at one time, I guess, my favorite summer fragrance. So I'm excited. I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna be a kind of a new take on Lamar, maybe a darker Lamar. No. This is a whole nother beast, y'all. If you're looking for a fruity, smoky fragrance that has hints of leather, that leans more on the smoky, boozy side, yes. Now, in the note breakdown, I don't think this says it has a boozy note, but trust me, it does. The blend between caramel, leather, tropical fruits, apple, and a woody note that is just divine. And yes, I would say this is definitely going to lean more on the masculine side, and this is definitely going to be one of those fragrances you want to wear when you are out, when you are outside. Yes, of course, you can wear it indoors and you know it's going to smell fantastic. But if you are outside and you want to smell real good, especially if you want to smell unique, those people that I would say kind of turn away from smoky fragrances, try this one. I think this one will change your mind. Look out for the full review on this one, but another banger for the winter. And yes, of course, this was going to be on my winter list. Yeah, are you serious? Come on, y'all know me. All right, let's go check out the next one. Now, this is probably, we're going with the leather fragrances here. Of course, it's the winter, and this is the time where you wear leather fragrances. And I love leather fragrances. I love suede, leather, anything in between. And this fragrance here is what I consider to be one of the best and most unique leather fragrances in the world. And this is Kukuma from Evanescence. Yeah. I told you guys, for those who have been watching my channel for a while, once I finish this 20 ml bottle, I'm getting a full bottle, but there's no reason to do that because 4 sprays of this and you good for 8 to 10 hours. This fragrance here took a chance, and I say that about effervescence all the time. They are risk takers. They are ones that try to, go against the grain. And they did that with adding turmeric in this fragrance. So that unique note of turmeric changes the game for me in this, because now not only do you have a unique spice mixed with leather, but to me, this fragrance smells like a yam, candy yam, or sweet potato, however you want to say it. So if you can imagine a soft spice mixed with a kind of rugged leather and a boiled or baked sweet potato, but not like, somebody put sugar or cinnamon or anything like that on it. No, just the potato itself. And I know you're probably saying that's weird. Go try it out. And I guarantee you'll text me or send me a message saying, yo, Rome, you're right. That's a banger. You want a sophisticated leather fragrance with a unique note of turmeric, you gotta go check out Kukuma from Evanescence. One of the best leather fragrances, in my opinion, in the world. That's why it's on the winter fragrance list. All right. We're gonna be here for a while. Let's go check out the next one. All right, so how can I describe this without people running away from the screen right now? This is the best oud fragrance I've smelled to date. Now, there are other ones that come close to being good or great, but this is the best one for my taste. I like sweet ouds. I like ouds that have a pinch of an animalistic note. I like woody tones, and I like it to be blended so well that you start to get nuances of the other aspects of the oud fragrances or fragrance. So for me, Nebulus from Bodhia Victorious is a no-brainer for being on my winter list. Man, y'all, I wish they dropped a 50 milliliter bottle of this so other people that don't want to pay the crazy price for this will get to experience this immaculate creation. So how I described it in the beginning of what type of fragrance I like when it comes to oud fragrances is exactly this. You're gonna get a nice heavy saffron spice immediately introduced with a wonderful jammy rose that's surrounded by that woody animalistic tone of oud. And this is, when I tell you, that aged oud, that Eaglewood tree that was aged for maybe 50, 60, or 100 years, and then they extracted all of the beautiful nuances from that. And not only the fragrance, the bottle is stunning. Of course, this masterpiece of a fragrance, Nebulus, will shock anyone. And I told you guys, I think I showed you guys the video where I let some people smell this on paper, and it was a few females and one of my guy friends, and they all were like, turn their nose up to it, right? I am now upstairs spraying it on my skin, change my clothes, come downstairs, and join the party, right? And every single one of them was like, oh, that smells great. What is that you got on? Oh, I love how you smell it, right? And I showed them this. I said it was what you smelled on the paper. They did not believe me at all. So trust your boy when I tell you, don't make a decision spraying it on paper. Spray it on your skin and you will be amazed, especially with this one. So Nebulus, absolutely on my winter fragrance list, and I hope that you guys get an opportunity, if you don't even buy it, get a sample so you just can experience this fantastic fragrance. All right, let's go check out the next one. All right, guys, we're halfway there. We're halfway done. I'm pretty sure I did not say how many fragrances are in the list. I got 14 bangers for you. So I didn't want to do top 10 or top 12. And I had it at 10, and then I saw two other fragrances. I said, this got to be on the list. And then I saw two more. I was like, oh, man. But this almost was like a 20 fragrance list. But I was like, no, I can't do that. I'm not going to put all that. We'll be here until tomorrow. And I don't want to start the new year off, or the first fragrance video for the New Year's to be, 50 minutes long. This fragrance I have right here, this one is one of the newest fragrances in my collection. And it would have been even further down the line, but I haven't had that much time with it. I'm actually going to review this, probably be the next review that comes up and on my channel. But BDK Rouge Smoke Extrait, or Extract, how do you say that? Extrait? One of the two. Surprised me, absolutely surprised me, because when I first smelled this, I was like, all right, yeah, it's okay. Let it sit on my skin, and I was like, wait a minute, is that this joint right here? Because I smell hundreds, I'm not gonna say hundreds, I smell dozens of cherry fragrances, right? Smell them, love some, didn't like some was so hyped that my expectations of how great it smelled just was diminished when I smelled it, because I'm like, oh, this is trash. But this right here, what it did that changed my mind is it allowed me to see the transition between the cherry jammy nuances combined with a lit cigar, and the smoke is traveling through that kind of cherry atmosphere. But what made me really say, oh yes, this is definitely gonna be on the list, is the milky combination with those two aspects I was talking about, cherry and smoke. I don't know how they did that, because usually lactate or milk type notes turn like sour on your skin, and I was like, man, I don't want that. It did not do that. This almond milky vibe combined with smoke and cherry. This is the perfect date night fragrance for those guys that have women that love like sports and love, chilling with the fellas, or like just lounges. If you're the type that has a female like that, she's gonna love this on you, and I'm pretty sure she might be one of the type that will wear this also. So yes, Rouge Smoke Extrait from BDK Perfumes is one of the best winter fragrances of 2025. Let's go check out the next one. Okay, halftime's over. We're in the second half. And this fragrance right here that I'm about to show you, I featured it on my last video, and it blew my mind away. I'm so ecstatic. I'm excited to share this wonderful experience with you guys, because it is and needs to be shown. This fragrance is from Gel Blanc Parfum, and this one is S'il vous plaît. Yes, can you guys, you've probably seen me talk about this at least 3 times, and I'm probably gonna talk about it at least 3 more times. S'il vous plaît is from a independent perfume company, perfumer. I reached out to him when I saw this bottle on Instagram, and we talked, sent me the bottle. I'm gonna review it, of course, but there's no way I wasn't putting it on this list. I put it on my hand, and I did like a triple take, because I'm like, wait, what is happening right now? I'm like, I'm over here like, what's happening to me? I'm getting this blueberry vibe mixed with a earthiness and a greenness, and I'm like, oh, this is taking me for a ride right now. I let it sit on my skin, and the only thing I can say is, if you had a blueberry kind of pastry dessert, and you were sitting on a park bench somewhere near like a bed of like either heliotrope or patchouli, or a mixture of white florals in that, or like a spice garden or something like that. But yes, this one here is just stunning. You're gonna get coriander, you have a wonderful spice of cardamom mixed with blueberries, amber. There's also, like I said, in my opinion, there's like a gourmand note that sounds or smells like a wonderful blueberry, raspberry, even cherry pastry. But guys, the reason why I put this on the list is I put one spray on my hand, just one, on the top of my hand, right here. I put it right there. And that thing lasts, with one spray, over 10 hours. And it was such a kind of journey of different notes that I never imagined to be blended together so well, and still shocked me. Come on, for a new perfume house, a new perfume company, and I don't know who the perfumer is. I'll once I do a review, I'm going to research that. But wow, yes, check this one out, guys. S'il vous plaît by Gel Blanc Perfumes. And I smelled a few more of his line, just to, sidebar. I smelled a few more of his fragrances. And this one isn't even the best fragrance in their line. What? Come on, y'all. Get ready. All right, let me go check out the next one. Stop talking about this joint right here. Tobacco, oud, incense, a wonderful jammy rose, also a stunning and seductive amber accord. What I'm talking about Alexandria Orient from Xerjoff. Yes. Yeah. The oud in this fragrance, it questioned everything I thought oud represented. Very aggressive, animalistic, standoffish. Most people are not really into oud. You gotta be a collector or someone that's an enthusiast for fragrances. I would argue that this right here, for those who don't love oud, the combination between the amber and the marriage of oud, amber, and all those other notes that I just mentioned makes this one of the most sexiest, seductive, and alluring just creations in that oud category, in my opinion. And when it first came out, people talked about it, and then it just died. I don't hear anybody talking about this joint. So that gives you guys that just started your journey or have not had an opportunity to experience this, go check it out, because a lot of people won't be wearing it, and you're going to smell unique this whole winter. So go check this one out. A wonderful fragrance, and I'm going to challenge those guys that got that sexy young lady that they're like, yo, we going out Saturday. I don't know what I'm wearing. I want to impress her. Wear this. Wear this on that date. You're welcome. That's all I'm going to say. All right, let's go check out the next one, guys. I'm having a blast, man. I love these winter fragrances. You know how long it takes to get to wear these like beast mode, erotic, exotic, one-of-a-kind fragrances? I gotta wait until like December to pull these out. I mean, truth be told, I wear them wherever I want to, but I wear them way more now than I did in the spring and summer and the fall. So, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's go check out the next one. We just entered to the top 5. Yeah, this we in the top 5. Man, I'm moving faster than I thought. All right, next up, man. This is in my top 10 of all of my fragrances in my collection. Of the hundreds of fragrances I have in my collection, this is definitely in the top 10. If someone told me this fragrance was $500, I wouldn't bat an eye. I'd be like, oh, okay, I can understand that. Now, don't get me wrong, it is pretty expensive, but it's not nowhere that price. But the smell is worth $1 million. This is Bodhia Victoria's Rebellious. Yes, Rebellious is the Saffron King. I smelled this fragrance, and then I smelled Bravery. No, I smelled Bravery first. Had my credit card ready. I'm talking to the associates and the owners of Bodhia, and I'm ready to go. And I'm like, wait, I got a sample here. It says rebellious. Let me smell this. Smell that. Nah, I don't want that. Here you go. Take my money. The combination or the experience of the most authentic saffron note that introduces a soft suede and a wonderful, wonderful rose that almost smells like a rose liqueur combined with those spices. But when we get to the dry down is what makes me say, you don't even need a coat. It can be freezing outside. You just got a nice sweater on, maybe a nice little, scully on your head. Spray this on, and that sandalwood combination with that saffron, you warm all day. Not to mention, this is one of the most sexy, most complimented fragrances in my collection, bar none. Guys, go check out this. Is one of the I don't think I've really seen anybody talk about Rebellious. Maybe y'all keeping it to yourselves. I don't know. Maybe y'all just like, nah, I'm not sharing this with nobody. And I wouldn't blame you. Go check out the notes. Go check out my review. Rebellious is a must-have. All right. I got a few more. Let's go check out number 3. Man, okay, I'm excited for 2025. In the new year, I'm gonna do my very best to just bring y'all some of the best fragrances available. And this one right here, I smell this. I've only had it for a month. I smelled this at Scent Explorer and was like, yeah, I cannot wait to review this. Now, my man Max Forte has talked about this fragrance maybe 2 times, maybe 3. I'm not sure. He's mentioned it in some of his top 10s. And I'm mentioning it in mine. This is Sun by Niche and Perfume. Yeah, bruh. This is the amber fragrance that every amber lover needs. Oh, every amber lover needs this fragrance in their collection. I don't know how they were able to achieve this, but this amber is a spicy, sweet amber, and I don't know how they did, because there's those spices in the note breakdown. There's a warm vanilla in the underbelly or the undertone of the fragrance. There's a hint of florals, but you don't get it much. You just have like whiffs of a floral note. But what you're going to get is an amber that is spicy, that is warm, that is sweet, and that is in your face. And I sprayed this in the air and I just moved my hand through it. Bro. Another fragrance that I would say wait into the middle of this month when it's really cold. Depending on where you are. It could be freezing right now. This one is a party fragrance. This is going out to a party, wherever you are going, whatever event you're going to. This one will turn heads, and I don't think you will be able to concentrate on where you're at, because you're gonna be smelling yourself all day. That's, oh my goodness, man. And you ever do that? Like, this is almost arrogant. You ever do that? You be like, damn, I smell good. Like, wow, man, I smell amazing. Or you just think it, but your face shows it. Like, I do that all the time. Sometimes I think I look crazy. I catch myself doing it, and then someone's looking at me. I'm like, damn, oh, I smell good. Or that look like, man, I smell good. I know I'm crazy. It's a rant. Don't mind me. Go get this right here. This is Amber Lovers Rejoice. Amen. Amen. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, we at number 2. And if I'm not mistaken, this was number 1 last year. It got knocked out of the, well, I guess you could say the crown was taken. That fragrance is Amouage Royal Tobacco. There's nothing I need to tell you about this fragrance. You know my favorite perfumer, Cecile, made it. You know it is one of the best smoky, aggressive, sweet tobacco, smoky fragrances, if I didn't say it already, you'll ever come across. It's not for everyone, but for those who like beast smoke fragrances, those who like fragrances that step in the room maybe 10 seconds before you do and does not leave until a minute after you do. This is one of the best sillage, one of the most unique takes on a smoky tobacco ever. But you are being warned right now. If you are sensitive to heavy fragrances, you're gonna want to buy this. You're gonna be like, oh, this smells good, I'll wear it. Do only 2 sprays. Because if you do 4 or 5 sprays, you're gonna get a headache. You're going to be in a cocoon of just a beautiful smell, but it's definitely gonna be cloying. So be careful, you've been warned. One of the best fragrances I've ever come across. Cecile did her thing. Tobacco is one of my favorites. Royal Tobacco is one of the best fragrances in the world. That's why it's on my winter fragrance list. All right. Let's go check out who's number 1. All right. We're number 1. And it's been a journey. 14 fragrances. This video's, I hope it was entertaining. I hope you grab some of these fragrances. But if you skip any of these fragrances and grab this one, I wouldn't blame you. This fragrance has left me lost for words. Stunning in every aspect. This is my Geisha, Secrets of a Geisha, Infinite Touch. Now, I showed you guys this fragrance in my fragrance haul, and this will be one of the first fragrances I review in 2025. And the reason I said this is my favorite fragrance, number 1 winter fragrance pick, is because it captivated me on the first time I sprayed it on my hand. And most fragrances don't do that. I can count on one hand how many times that's happened. This is one of them. This fragrance opens up with a combination of tobacco and brown sugar. Not only do you get a smoky nuance with a sugary kind of touch throughout that smoky kind of sweet tobacco, you're going to get a warm honey note. Bruh. If you like, what's that? Absolute aphrodisiac. If you like tobacco vanille, if you are in the mood for something like, what's it? I'm trying to think of, I'll put the bottle up here. Now, they don't smell like this, no, but they have that sugary, tobacco, sweet, erotic vibe. This is a must-have. Full review coming up very, very soon. But I'm telling you guys, y'all not ready for this one. I'll give you one more note and I'm gonna leave it there. The dry down, one of the best tonka bean notes I've ever smelled. Whew, man, I try not to get super hyped for fragrances. I don't want to come off super duper hype, aggressive, like, yeah, what? No. The calmer I am, that's when you know the fragrance is a banger. So, stay tuned for the full review. My number 1 fragrance in my winter fragrance list of 2025. Secret of a Geisha, Infinite Touch. A must have. Yeah, you can thank me later. All right, guys, that is it. That is my winter fragrance list, and I hope that I gave you some fragrances that you were excited for. You're probably on the website right now, go and get samples of picking something up because these are worth it. All joking aside, thank you guys for watching. Once again, I wanted to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to speak with my fellow fragrance heads. Without you, my Lord, none of this would be possible. All glory goes to you. The fact that I have these fragrances to be able to speak with you guys is a blessing in itself. I want to say this to you guys, and this is something that has been, I'm not going to say I've been torn with, but trusting in God is a really hard thing to sell when you're new in Christ, when you're so used to your own opinion, you're so used to kind of thinking that you are in charge of your life. I'm going to tell you this real quick. When God is speaking to you, when he is talking to you, listen. Faith is a big thing in our Christian walk and our walk with Christ. Trusting in him to keep you safe, trusting in him to help your life blossom in the best way is something that I want you guys to definitely just trust him, trust the process. It's something that you can't see. That's what faith is. Faith is the ability to trust without being able to see the goal. You know that he got you, but you don't need to see it to believe it. You just feel it in your heart, and you know that God will never lie to you and never abandon you. So I'm working on it myself. I'm learning how to have faith and not lean on my own understanding and lean on him, because I know that he's going to open up the doors. He's going to make my path straight. And I'm going to tell you, for me, it is not an easy task, and I never want to say it is. But the more we pray, the more we sit in prayer, and the more we are in the Bible and reading the scriptures to kind of understand why we should lean on faith versus our own abilities. Why wouldn't we? God is all powerful, all knowing, and can do any and everything. We are just men. We are just women. So I would rather lean on him knowing that he got my back versus trying to go out there in this crazy world on my own. So with that said, God bless you guys. I'll check you guys out in the next video. And until then, like I always say, it's okay if you want to smell like Rome. 2025 is going to be an amazing year. I'll check you guys out in the next video. Until then, peace.